Hunter saves it. Hunter Hughes is coming around. Here comes Colton Garner. It's Hunter Hughes!
Turn 4 for the final time. Who's got more ponies? Checkered flag out. Bluegrass 150 goes to Ian Miller.
And welcome back to the Daily Cooking Podcast, guys. As always, I'm your host, Nick Zammit.
Good, get the name out there. It's like, hey, Joseph Newgarden, you're the guy with the sperm commercial. Yeah.
For the first time in series history, Wednesday Night Dash heading south of the border as we welcome you to the Garage Talk Grand Prix from Ciudad de Mexico and Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez. Here's your standings as we head into week number 9. Dawson Buchanan at 274, just a hair over Chris Fuge and Tyler Cheney. But you look at these standings, it is genuinely anyone's game all the way back, maybe to Robert Lewis, who, again, mind you, has a race win to his name. So no matter where you look right now, no matter where it is on track, it is genuinely everybody's game. As they continue to stack up here, let's take one more quick look at the venue, our 5th road course of the series, and our first time again going international. Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez, just a stone's throw outside of the capital of the nation of Mexico. First opened in 1969, long tenured home of the Mexican Grand Prix, and has evolved plenty in its history. 14 turns here in this national configuration. We missed that little tail end at the top, the little fish hook that Formula One runs at, but do still get that outskirts, if you will, of the baseball stadium configuration, not cutting through it, but doing the what would traditionally be turns 1 and 2 of what the NASCAR Mexico series would run here. Again, NASCAR Mexico been here, I believe, for the better part of the past 20 years. But they practiced for 45 minutes. They had about 5 minutes to qualify, and we are ready to rock for the first time from the heart of it. Happy to have you with us. My name is Jackson Lambros here in the broadcast booth. And as we start to get him set up, let's take one more quick look at your starting grid. Pole position number 3 here for Tyler Cheney will be alongside championship contender Hunter Hughes. Ian Miller and John Miles will be alongside him further back. Ian Miller making a one-off start, the long-tenured Indy Racing World Series driver, as per usual, coming over to do the twisty bits in the Cup cars. Further back, Christopher Fuge, who's had another phenomenal championship run at that. Then it's Lucas Puntarelli, Jacob Barker, and Nick Warboy rounding out your top 4 rows. A little bit further back, Jax Malin, still looking for his first win of the season, will be alongside Garrett Jarnigan in the number 32 Cracker Barrel machine. Robert Lewis in the 14 will be alongside your championship leader, Dawson Buchanan. Not always been a strong road course runner. We'll see if he can move forward, though, from P12. Bill Mofield in the 911 will be P13 with Brian McKinney, Eric Richardson, and DJ Fluck rounding out your field of 16. I realize I don't have the sound set up, so we're going to go a little bit behind the scenes here because we are none of us perfect people. Guys, imagine if iRacing just crashed right there. I did that. Quick calibration. Audio, because again, when you run it off of a capture card, get confusing. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. Here we go, 20 laps on the counter. And again, no green-white cautions and no full course cautions at that as well. Maybe one pit stop on the calendar, but I think a lot of these guys have every intention to go all 20 without taking it to pit row. Let's take one more look very quickly at your driver's standings. It's a great spot right now for Hunter Hughes to try and move himself forward from P5 in the standings again on row number 1. If you look at some of these guys, Tyler Cheney really could get a shot in the arm for his championship hopes as well. Take this time as well to take a look as well at your team standings too. Very quickly, SMR just by a hair over JM Motorsports, a long time rivalry that we have seen, but here we go. 16 cars deep, Cheney and Hughes on the front row, ready to go green. Who's going to win south of the border for the first time? Let's find out for the first time. Let's go racing in Mexico City. Speeds north of 170 miles an hour as we head into turn number 1 for the first time. Watch Ian Miller in the Polychrome 48 trying to make that move on the inside of the 7 of Tyler Cheney. That Kelly Blue Book machine able to just barely hang on to the outside. No slot in. Now John Miles getting a good start as well further back in the 54. Now you got Lucas Pucciarelli trying to make a move for him. Tries to go down low on the Squatch Soaps machine into one of the first chicanes. Is he able to get there? Yes, Miles checks up. Miller goes very off track there. Loses a handful of positions. Miles goes through. I believe Barker going through as well in the 12. What could have been a podium provisionally for the guy in his one-off start. 48 drops back to P6. With that, a stellar start here for Lucas Pucciarelli. Big dive further back. Jacob Barker in the 12th. Tried making the move on Miles. He hangs onto it. Working through the back side of the baseball diamond. Barker still trying to find a way around. Almost tried the switch back there. But in these land yachts, that is certainly one of the more difficult moves to pull off. First green flag lap underway. 106.18 Toyota gonna be the first one to get there. And Lucas Pucciarelli already making the most of that draft. Thought about a look to the inside, doesn't do it. And your provisional podium already up now. You see it on the left-hand side of the screen. 2.5 seconds over Ian Miles. John Miles, excuse me, to make it a Toyota 1-2-3 on track. Right on board here with Lucas. Couldn't see it earlier, but really great kind of tribute. Livery! Oh, Lucas Pucciarelli, hang on to it! Full oppo lock, gathers it back up. Miles and Barker gonna fly on by. And that might have been a little bit of commentator's curse, my bad. I'll get one off of the back here of Hunter Hughes. Complete lap number 2. The track conditions very green right now. Not particularly dusty, but not a lot of good rubber laid down. And even though these guys aren't necessarily going super fast, it is a surgery with your right foot to try and not overdo it, not overcook your rear tires. And virtual world, as we mentioned, competes in the WRL. And is no stranger to having some very, very tight setups. And moving over to the next-gen car, although it is indeed a far cry from the Cup Series stock cars of old, is still very much like going from a fighter jet to a tank. Tyler Cheney, though, having zero issues with that, it would seem, because he is all over the rear bumper now of Hunter Hughes. The two teammates continue to go at it, and Hughes goes a little bit deep into the back half of the race course. Is he able to fend off Cheney trying to cross him up through the baseball arena? Slide on exit. Hughes going sideways out of the final corner. Who's going to be able to get the power down more? 700-yard dash across the stripe into the first corner. Tyler Cheney going to take the win for the first time this evening. Take the lead, excuse me. He is far from out of the woods as Hughes immediately looks to stick and move back on him, but he's locked it up big time. He'll go all the way off into the grass. What's that blend looking like? Hughes is nice and lets him go. No problem. That was over ambitious, to say the least, from Hunter Hughes. That'll put Cheney up into the lead, uncontested. One car already, 2 laps down. DJ Fluck taking it to pit road. I've got streamer mode on. This is normally the time where DJ would like to jump scare me. Hunter Hughes rejoining in P2, and a battle starting to unfold just behind, as it has become a 4-car breakaway from the remainder of the field here. Hughes, Miles, and Jacob. And you got just Petrelli, who's trying to get back into the fray as well. About Dawson Buchanan, your championship leader. He's trying to make a move on your race winner. Out in Phoenix, Dawson Buchanan trying to clear Robert Lewis on the inside of turn number 1. You got Ian Miller just behind trying to go with him in the 48. Just barely able to be moved in there by Ian Miller. That'll put Robert Lewis down to P10. Dawson Buchanan now in P8, he's got Chris Fuge, Jack Smalin just a little bit further up the road. Last lap by 133.376 for Tyler Cheney, and is pretty comfortably the only guy in the field to be running in the 33s at this point. He could very likely be heading into Michigan with this championship lead. Plus, Dawson Buchanan further back continues to build that gap. Chip away at that gap, I should say. Ian Miller still trying to make the most of his single start. He goes down low. Buchanan using all the runoff on the menu on the outside, and that'll allow him to immediately slot in. That gap continuing to grow further back as well, as that's a big send further back. Ian Miller, he keep it out the back of Christopher Fuge. You saw a little bit of smoke coming out from the inside as Robert Lewis goes around just further back in your picture. Throttle-induced oversteer for the 14. Ian Miller on the recovery has driven himself back into the top 10. Dawson Buchanan trying to go with him. Fuge, another championship underdog, trying to keep his championship hopes alive. A top 5 would do him wonders here. Track limits not really a factor when it comes to this course, much like Sonoma or Watkins Glen. Some parts where it really does matter, that right-hander of turn number 5, a really good example. Usually, obviously, for this part of the race course, faster speed stuff, especially as we work our way onto this long, nearly kilometer-long back straight. See, like no one else here. You can use as much as you want. Rough road, Jacob Barker trying to close that gap to John Miles for the bottom step of the podium, but coming into view is the battle for the top 5. Lucas Puntarelli, after making that mistake on lap 3. Trying to close in on Jackson Malin. Up cars have been a struggle this season for Malin. Has been very good. Comes to the trucks running these series stuff. Making that mistake. Podiums and 4 top 5 so far after round 8, following a season where he came into the final round as a championship contender. Trying to make the most of the end of the season before they make the move. He locks up though now going into turn number 8. That'll be another position for Ian Miller. Covering drive for Puntarelli, able to make that move on Ian Miller, and 2 guys that are traditionally very fast on the workhorses certainly have their work cut out to reach this group a little bit further up the road. 6 seconds back to Jacob Barker and company. And I wanted to tell you guys to watch that gap between Hughes and Cheney. It went down to about 3 seconds even, and I'm not sure if Hughes made a mistake somewhere. Right now, 4.1 seconds the gap from Hughes to Cheney. Just to remind you how we got here, Hunter Hughes had a very strong opening race, got it on pole, and went on to win the opener in Chicagoland. Then in Nashville, plain and simple, it was a thriller between the 2 teammates, Cheney and Hughes. And it looked to be Hunter to get the race win. They banged doors, and ultimately it was the rookie able to get his first race win in Wednesday Night Dash. We went on to Charlotte, and it was the return of Chad Winstead. It was maybe just a lap away, and then we had another absolute stunner to finish. Dawson Buchanan was able to get that lap back, or get that lead back from the veteran. With just 2 laps to go. Ultimately, simply put, uncontested again at Norton. Back. We saw the rise of Chris Fuge winning at Talladega and was on the podium essentially for the next 3 weeks. After that, Hunter Hughes winning in Indy on the oval, on to Kentucky where Robert Lewis won another, and Dawson Buchanan, your last winner at PIR. Still still 2 races to go, and in a week's time, we will indeed be at Michigan International Raceway to crown ourselves a champion. Halfway home here, Tyler Shaney, your race leader. Let's go ahead and go for a ride here with Ian Miller. Hard on the brakes from 170 miles an hour here into turn number 1. Using all the curbing you can, the tire bells, making sure you're obviously not going to cut too much. The SS Moises Solana on Directa Trancera in the run into turn number 4. Plenty of grass to remind you not to roll too much speed here. But into the fish hook, we do not go. It's a long, sweeping right-hander with plenty of concrete barrier on the inside to keep you from cutting. Then we rejoin the Formula 1 circuit through the S's 5, 6, and 7. You can cut, but as we've already seen with Lucas, that is fresh paint on the outside. It is rough. And oh, Lucas Bucciarelli nearly into the barriers. Could give Ian Miller an overtaking opportunity as we roll on to Recta del Ovalle. Good overtaking opportunity here at turn 11. Ian Miller thought about it. He stays in line. He knows it's going to get tight and technical here as we do work our way into the baseball arena, into the stadium section of Corazon. Once a Mexican League arena able to host 70,000 fans, was a spot where over 120,000 Mexicans watched their home favorite Sergio Perez take the lead over Daniel Ricciardo at home in the 2015, 2016, or 2015 battle though, between your top 10 here. Ian Miller trying to hunt down Lucas Bucciarelli. The kid versus the Orlando native. Join FR Racing's DJ Fluck and Eric Richardson for Garage Talk, where 2 idiots talk racing and stuff. New episodes drop Friday mornings on FR Racing Online. Watch on YouTube, listen on Spotify, or catch it wherever you get your podcasts. This week they recap DJ's visit to Phoenix Raceway for the IndyCar race on Saturday and the Cup Series race on Sunday. What went well, what didn't go well? Could we see a return to something of that format? Also taking a look at the disastrous start for Formula 1 in Australia and what needs to change from China and onwards to fix those issues. Again, Garage Talk, everywhere you find your podcasts. Ian Miller still on the hunt here. Try and close it down. Jacob Barker, as he has made that move on Lucas Bucciarelli. It's just a little bit further back. Dawson Buchanan needed a good result to keep himself in front of the championship point standings. Garrett Jarnigan has other plans. And to say they need to get out of their comfort zone is an understatement. Obviously, Dawson and Garrett Jarnigan, long-time rivals, both in the trucks and O'Reilly's throughout 2025. And in 2026, they found themselves, trouble further back. Ian Miller off into the wall. What happened there? Maybe a lockup. Definitely Jacob Barker involved. Was that contact induced? It certainly looked like it. Into turn number 4. And Ian Miller just a little bit too late to the party. forced Barker to go wide with, and Barker went around. Miller knew he was at fault there. Stood on the brakes and I think waited for Barker to get going once again. And another tough race for Jacob Barker, who, to say the 12 has had a tough season has been an understatement. Michigan, obviously, to look to end things on a high note. Just up ahead, these two have been next to each other seemingly all night long on the racetrack. Chris Fuge. Right on exit, you see Fuge taking a little bit more shallow on exit there. I think prefers that traction for the drive out of 3 into turn number 4. But obviously hasn't been able to use it for anything just yet, still behind 99. Traditionally, the Zen machine now has a new sponsor. The run for CDMX. Obviously, the Cup Series coming here last year in 2025, which I think was supposed to be maybe a little bit longer of an event, but just kind of left it being a one-off. I think a part of that was the logistical challenge. I want to say Darlington, the race that they came from. And again, Mexico City, if anyone's looked at a map of the city, it is not just under it's not like you got a haul down there. At least a 5 or so hour drive to get to the biggest city in the country. But in Van Gisbergen, he's pulled such a getting the win there, unshockingly, because there were right-hand turns. But NASCAR making the choice to not return this year. They were going south, going to San Diego. And I don't know if this is info that's ever been shared, but the guy announcing growing up probably spent a month a year in San Diego, grew up in Orange County, and then spent 5 years at university there, just north of Old Town. So to have the combination of who the greatest things God has given us, the greatest pastime God has given us in God's greatest city, I am doing everything in my power to get to North Island on Father's Day weekend, whether it's as a fan or as some kind of employee for somebody. Figure it out, but it's going to be super cool. As soon as I find a way to get that track simulated, I'm going to be begging DJ and Eric to have us run there, whether it's the newcomers or the Cup Series. Malin going a little bit wide there. Just was missing the marks. That will allow the problem with that third sector is if you're just off in one corner, it is constant right, left. You cannot get yourself set up correctly for another one if you're constantly overshooting the pass. So you set yourself up for that entire section of the race course if you just get it wrong in one. Five laps to go here from Mexico City and the Garage Talk Grand Prix. As we mentioned earlier, just one more race here in this season of Wednesday Night Dash, then we'll move over to the Truck Series. Let's take a look at what that looks like. We'll open the series in Atlanta, pre-repave. Go on to St. Petersburg. That's going to be a good one. Brand new course where the trucks actually ran for the first time. How cool of a combo is that? So that'll be our lone road course of the season. Getting it out of the way early. Moving on to Texas. Super at Daytona, New Hampshire. Homestead, Rockingham, which we have not visited in a while. Haven't gone to Fontana yet, so we're fixing that on June 24th. Some short track racing at Iowa. We'll finish under the lights at Kansas. iRacing.com if you want to join. Oh, we missed another mistake. Tyler Cheney isn't just off the pace, but is very slow getting back. What has happened here? Was McKinney potentially a factor in it? Both him and Eric Richardson have gotten the blue flag. How off pace were they? Five laps to go. Hull was kind of throwing again for Ian Miller between himself and Jack Smalin. He is on the charge yet again here in the 48. Realizing also oh boy, big time contact between him and Barker. And that might be, you get the feeling that right here these two made contact earlier on. I don't think Barker all that pleased over it. Locking the fronts there to try and cover. Go very deep into the baseball arena. Barker trying to cross him up on the exit. At 12 again after getting contact. I don't think he's too worried. Sacrificing a little bit of carbon fiber once again to make this move. Exit for Miller will give him just a little bit of cushion. Championship leader Dawson Buchanan just behind there. 2 seconds off. McKinney really slow here, getting the blue flag. Barker. Interesting, I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. Just wanted to avoid the blue flag traffic or missed the pit. Could potentially make that interesting. Rough off kind of behavior night here for Hunter Hughes. 5 road course wins in 15 starts. But Ian Miller, as well in the field, has gotten 3 of these victories in the 13 times he started on the road course. He's trying to put Richardson by with a blue flag lap. Richardson himself getting 2 of the victories on the road courses in the 28 times now he's started. And obviously a new track for these guys. It's been very, very difficult for a lot of these guys to adapt to. On top of that as well, we talk about it every time Formula 1 comes around here. Added elevation. Such a factor in the is a major challenge. Cup Series, all of their engine builders, as they struggle to maximize the power, the thin air here. These Cup cars already downforce far more than but in a regulation era that's so reliant on it, you're getting practically none of it up here for these cars. As Miller tries to go for another spot there. That is Jax Malin on the inside. Pulled over to contact door to door. How much does Malin fight him? 3 laps to go. He could have a Hail Mary here in this championship. Miller's a one-off driver. I think Malin wants to hold him off as much as possible. All these guys playing chicken in turn 6. That massive tire barrel on the inside. Malin acted as a roadblock. But look at that, Miller down low. Through turn number 9, we'll get there. 3-way battle here for P6 as Jacob Barker now pulls up a chair. Shallow exit there for the 48, the Rainbow. Machine with no sponsorship on the front, no manufacturer, I should say, on the front. I don't know if that was intentional. That got so banged up, you just can't tell that is supposed to be a Ford Mustang. The iRacing UI is telling me. No, that isn't a Toyota Camry. Excuse me. Everybody going deep into turn number 1. Miller went so late on the anchor there, and that domino everybody to go with him. Barker able to shimmy on through, though, for P7 as a result. Again, maximizing the opportunities here. Chris Fuge not too far up the road either, as he continues to battle now. This battle starting to redevelop between himself and Lucas Puntarelli. But for Tyler Cheney, the white flag is out in the heart of Mexico. This has not been a flash in the pan for the guy in the Kelly Blue Book machine. He looked strong when he rolled off the truck for the first time at Chicagoland. But crucially, the bad days have been at worst top 10s, top 5s, baby. He's one of the guys we've talked to the most because he simply has not been able to get off of the podium. This will be far more than win number 2. It'll be a sure lock-in for the championship hunt come next Wednesday night when we roll on to Michigan against one of the longest tenured drivers in Wednesday Night Dash history in the form of Dawson Buchanan. But this AMA team in Toyota, simply put, have built a menace of a team, and you're seeing it right here. To bolster Hunter Hughes and the Fuge brothers, Tyler Cheney. The kid has done it again, out of the final corner, and the run to the checkered flag. He's championship bound. He's your race winner from a road course start here in Mexico. Hunter Hughes, John Miles going to join him on the podium. But what about P4? Lucas Puntarelli just trying to hang on to it here. Hughes went deep on the brakes, tried a Hail Mary into turn number 10, won't get there. Fourth belongs to Puntarelli in the Toyota Racing Machine, then it's Ian Miller in 6th. Jax Malin trying to keep that wound open for Dawson Buchanan. The best he can muster. Almost on par. The guy who's had an average start and finish of 5.2 on the road courses, a 4.1 and a 2.8 start finish average on the ovals for DB. And simply put, domination from Toyota. First, second, fourth, and fifth for our road course starts. The results here after 20 laps. In the city, Tyler Cheney, your race winner. Again, Hunter Hughes, John Miles going to join him on the podium. Then it's Lucas Puntarelli, Chris Fuge, Ian Miller, Jacob Barker, Dawson Buchanan, Jax Malin, and Garrett Jarnigan rounding out your top 10. Nick Warboy was a lap down. Same for Robert Lewis, who got caught out in trouble. Bill Mofield, Brian McKinney, Eric Richardson, and DJ Fluck round out your field to 16. Tyler Cheney sent it in way too deep. In the arena, he's going to party. We'll give him a second here and we'll bring your podium in. Top 3 interviews when we come back from Mexico City.
I'm stuck on this one.
Yeah, I can tell, dude. All right, let's get this started here with your P3 driver. John Miles, phenomenal drive here. Not traditionally the strongest guy we've seen on the road courses, but you get it done. You stand on the steps here in Mexico City. Talk to me about that race in the 54.
Well, it was a lot of practice went into this one. I figured out I'm not too quick on the ovals compared to the rest of the league, so I had to step up somewhere other than the super speedways. But overall, JM Motorsports, they brought us super fast, number 54, Dr. Squatch Chevrolet Camaro. Solid race really from the whole team. We tried to put in some effort to try to maybe score some team points, but overall a good race. I just had to make sure I survived the first lap. There was some beating and banging, but for the most part kept it pretty clean. But yeah, over the moon happy to see the results pay off in a third place on a podium at a road course especially.
Anybody else you want to thank here for getting on the steps?
Yeah, I just want to thank all the boys back at the shop that keep this thing running. All the drivers. Hopefully Lane can eventually come back to hopefully not wreak too much havoc when he comes back, but hopefully we're happy to have him back. And Matt, if he can get back in here, that'd be good to have him as well. All the sponsors, of course, Dr. Squatch, which is on the hood today, Bass Pro Shops, and John Deere as well. Thank you to all of them.
Good stuff. We'll keep it going to P2 here, and a great recovery drive for Hunter Hughes after a, shall we say, a Viking comeback night in the IndyCars. You get yourself on the steps here once again, and you got your teammate as well to make it a Toyota 1-2. Talk to me about that drive behind the 18.
Yeah, today was a bit of a mix of emotions. Happy to see AMA back 1-2. Great for the team points, but I'm gonna be honest, tonight felt like one that got away. Made a couple mistakes early and just kind of kept getting little mistakes, and then at the end I spun out and just there was nothing for it. So happy for my teammate, but I wish I could have been one step better.
Looking at your record here, 5 wins and 14 starts on the road courses. In general, what makes you as a driver feel like gel with whenever we turn right for Wednesday Night Dash?
You know, I've always liked road racing. Like I'm a NASCAR fan, oval fan at heart, but sports car racing is always super interesting to me. And the beauty of iRacing is you get to expand and do multiple different disciplines of motorsport. And I always found a really strong liking to road course racing. So yeah, and then in the past in this league, you know, I don't want to say it, but I haven't really had too much competition. So, you know, as much as I can say it, it's nice to get beat for once.
Congrats. And let's talk about that, by the way, the guy that beat you, Hunter Hughes. Like, we look at the team that AMA and you've built, and Tyler Cheney. I'm totally word garbaging right now and having a little bit of a stroke right now, but we're all good. Tyler Cheney, your race winner here in Mexico City. You talked about it when you were joining the server. You're soaking this one in. How special does tonight feel for you?
Dude, where do I start? I suck at road courses. I don't know what the hell happened tonight. That just came out of the blue. I've put 2 weeks of practice into this and just kept picking up time and picking up time and picking up time. And even then, I still thought, okay, an easy third maybe because Hunter and Ian are going to go out there and whoop everybody's ass. I put it on pole, held it there kind of for the first little bit. I had to get around Hunter, but he ended up making a mistake, which sucks. I would have loved to race him for it. That'd have been fun. But I mean, hell, we won the race. I don't even know how we got here, man.
So I'm not going to try and say this with confidence because I'm a words guy, not a numbers guy. But if you're not coming out of this week as the championship points leader, you've got a really, really good shot at being in the championship hunt when we get to Michigan next week. One, how much of a confidence booster is that for you? And two, what's the strat going to be for you once you reach the final race here of the season?
I think next week is going to be just kind of go out there and do what I usually do. I feel like Michigan is one of my better racetracks on the sim, so I felt a good bit of confidence in that regard. But today was mostly just we're shooting for points to set myself up going into Michigan, and that's exactly what we did. Got as many points as we could get today. So the confidence is high, but I'm not going to let it get to me. I'm going to still go out there and do what I need to do.
While we've got Hunter in here, we'll throw the question over to you as well, because it was a very hot, cold start to your season, to say the least, but it's been stone cold consistency for you since about round number 6 at Indy, and you really breaking that chain at the Brickyard. You have an outside chance of getting the title here when we get to Michigan. What's the strat going to be when we reach the final race?
Just being consistent. I think Michigan's a decent racetrack for me. And I need to avoid what I did in the truck season 2 seasons ago, where I just needed to win the race and I spun myself out twice. So I just need to avoid the self-inflicted incidents, and I should have a pretty good shot.
Blend it with you, Tyler. Again, one that was kind of an outside chance, but maybe the one that shoots you into the lead of this championship. Who do you want to thank for the victory tonight?
My dad, my mom, love them both. They watch week in and week out and keep supporting me on the back end of things. It's gotten kind of rough, especially through the middle portion of the season. Confidence was very low. My dad kept my head in the game, so I appreciate him, love him. Thank you, Dad. Of course, AMA and all the work they put in week and week out to bring these excellent race cars. All my guys back at Team Extreme behind the scenes who helped me out with practice, week in and week out. Those guys are a huge help to me. And of course, you put on a great show up here. I love your commentary. I got to say, you nail it every week. But
amen to that.
Yeah, just overall, everybody wins the night dash. My family, friends, anybody who has put a hand in the pot of helping me get to this point. I greatly appreciate all of them.
You boys keep talking like that. DJ and Eric ought to give me a raise. No, I'm kidding. Great driving from both of you gentlemen.
I mean, you deserve it.
All right. We appreciate it, gentlemen. Great driving from both of you. We'll see you at Michigan.
Thanks, Jackson.
Yeah, see ya.
And that'll be all she wrote here. Race number 9 in the heart of Mexico. And a great drive, a great week for AMA, first and second for both them as well as Toyota. And obviously, we are not done yet. One weekend out, and then we're back to it with Indy Racing World Series going back onto the ovals. That'll be, I believe, at Chicagoland. And then, of course, we're on to Michigan for our last race of the season and the 9th Wednesday Night Dash champion set to be crowned. Hope to have you with us then, but it's time for us to take the keys out of the ignition for yet another week. We thank you so much, as always, for joining, whether it's BSRS, whether it's Indy Racing World Series, or, of course, Wednesday Night Dash. We appreciate you tuning in, or, of course, jumping in the cockpit and making a part of our traditions every single week, a part of yours as well. For everyone here at FR Racing and Stadium Scene TV, my name is Jackson Lambros, thanking you so much for watching and reminding you to tune in next week when we crown a champion here for Wednesday Night Dash.